Hello, my fellow citizens. My name is L.Varnie B. Mamey, and I am an activist and an advocate for social justice in the Republic of Liberia. I have been listening to unfolding events in the Liberian political space, and recently, I stand to be corrected, on October 7th, I learned about the remarks made by Liberia's Deputy Minister for Information, Daniel Sano, against the political leader of the ANC, Mr. Alexander Ben Cummings, referring to him as a political dwarf and that his height could be impeding his vision. I want to be clear and condemn this in the strongest possible term, that this is the bottom of the degradation of our political discourse in the Republic of Liberia, coming from nowhere else but the Ministry of Information. This Ministry of Information is where our country depends on for factual information, for credible information, for responsible information. I think the statement coming from the Deputy Minister, and not only the Deputy Minister, but even the Minister, against political leaders of the opposition, most of the statements I've listened to in recent time are irresponsible, they are provocative, and are what I consider as intellectual terrorism. You do not use the public platform, you do not use the government's platform to ring insults or to spew gibberish against individuals or loose language against people who come to the public sphere with more knowledge than you have to be able to help to transform the country. Some criticism against this government coming from Alexander B. Cummings were only constructive. In my opinion, they were very friendly. Quite frankly, I would have expected more of Alexander Cummings. But he is who he is. And he said what he said. And he was very, very, very polite in terms of the way he spoke against the government. And for Daniel Sano, and not only Daniel Sano, but Jeremy McPia, to come out and make statements, call him names, suggest that he cannot see because of his height, or he does not have vision because of his height. And some suggesting that he took substance or he was under the influence of something. It's unfortunate. It's irresponsible. And that has to stop. We should elevate the debate to where we discuss substance, especially from the Ministry of Information, where we expect civilized conversations to come from. But from what I'm seeing, what was done is uncivilized, is irresponsible, and I think the president ought to suspend Daniel Sano if the president means well, if the president is not endorsing it, and if the president is not emboldening it. Anything to the contrary tells me that the president is in support of what is obtaining at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in terms of loose languages coming from the minister and the deputy minister and other members of the media family. And this is unacceptable and has to stop. I want to categorically and unequivocally condemn the action of the deputy minister and all those who are spewing foul language against opposition leaders who are only trying to help the government succeed by their constructive criticism and by their constructive suggestions and policy prescription as to how the government can help to improve the life of the Liberian people. You have a government that is failing in almost all spheres of governance. They are failing to provide basic social services for the Liberian people. They are failing to provide education for the Liberian people. Look at the University of Liberia. It's a failure. Take a look at our health sector. Mothers are giving birth on the floor. Everything in the country is a challenge. The country is hard. What is wrong about Alexander B. Cummings saying that the country is hard when it is a fact? As a matter of fact, the country is harder than Alexander B. Cummings described. People go to bed hungry most of the time. Prices are high. The economy is struggling. And when Alexander B. Cummings goes and says it, people from the government use the platform of the Ministry of Information as a propaganda platform for the political institution to send attacks to people who mean well for our country. This is unacceptable. And that's the reason why this government may not be able to secure a second term, because of the incompetence and the uncivilized behavior and the arrogance of some of the officials of government under this leadership of Joseph Nyuma Boka, when he does nothing to ensure that they behave according to the code of conduct of the Republic of Liberia. And so I'm calling on President Joseph Nyuma Boakai to take action against his minister, his deputy minister, for the misbehavior conducted on the platform of the Ministry of Information, to spew insults or foul language or derogatory statements against the political leader of the ANC. And let me be clear, I am not a supporter of the ANC. I'm not a surrogate of the ANC. I just do not want our political space to be desecrated by these kind of languages. It is not good for our country. Does not represent the image of our country. It does not represent the image of the Ministry of Information. And nothing in the act that created the Ministry of Information calls for what Daniel Sano did, or what some of the things that Jeremy Limekpia and other members of the Mikat family are doing to other political leaders. It has to stop. We call for civility. We call for people to be responsible at the Ministry of Information, and they should disseminate information that will benefit the country. In terms of tourism, they need to promote the positive image of the country and discuss substance and not platitude. And so our country will do better if the information arm of our country is behaving responsible and doing things in accordance with the act that created the Ministry of Information. Liberia deserves better, and the Ministry of Information and its ministers should put off the positive image of our country to encourage investors and to make us to look as a responsible country and the elderly country we are. So thank you. God bless you. And I hope that people at the Ministry of Information will govern themselves accordingly, and that Honorable Joseph Nyuma Boakai, the President of the Republic of Liberia, will take some steps to ensure that this misbehavior on the part of some of his ministers are curtailed. Thank you very much. God bless Liberia, and God bless the people of Liberia.